again to highly questionable. What do we have today, Bo?
Josh Gordon.
Yeah, pretty much. Vamos, papi, yeah.
The Red Hot Cavs clinched last night. How seriously should we take their championship hopes?
It was hard for him to say because it hurt him, not because of the accent. Saying Red Hot Cavs is hurtful to him. Here's the situation you find yourself in the last 10 games since LeBron was in Miami in that sunshine that we have down here. He's got 28 points a game, 8 assists a game, 9 rebounds a game on average. He's shooting 65% from the field and 54% from three. This is a really good LeBron we're seeing, and we haven't seen this LeBron all year. Here's the problem. This is the worst LeBron team that he's been on in 6 years. What he will see in the finals is either the best Golden State team we've ever seen and one of the best teams of all time, or the best Spurs team we've ever seen of all time. They don't have a chance against that.
The one thing we do have to consider, though, is we would have thought these things last season. They went against the 67-win Golden State team that was pretty good. They won 2 games, and they won them without Kyrie Irving and without Kevin Love. Like, we don't know what the core of this team looks like in the postseason from a talent standpoint. So there's a chance they could wind up being really good. And then you go watch the Warriors. And then when you watch the Warriors, you're like, yeah, okay, I don't know about this. But does LeBron have the I can carry the team thing in him for one more year? How crazy would it be if he had it in him in the year that he was going against maybe the best team of all time?
Hey, yesterday, LeBron, we play a clip of you, behind a pizza counter there, and I'm telling you something, I don't believe in you, and I don't believe in your pizza. Now, today, you try to buy me with 23 pizza pies, but I still don't believe in you. I still think that you stink. You know what I mean? You still think. Yeah, I still think that you stink. Look at this.
Yes.
Look at this. You got to do better than that if you want me to change my opinion of you.
Yeah, he said before the show, he said, I'm not that cheap. He can't buy me this way. I'm not going to let up. My criticism's just going to be fatter and cheesier.
I'll tell you what else he can't do. Box me off this camera shot with these pizzas. That's not happening.
That's right.
Smell
That's my man, Bomani. Bomani's speaking
my
for
man,
me.
Bowman.
Could Russell Westbrook actually be having a better all-around season than Stephen Curry?
All right, Russell Westbrook had his 18th triple-double last night. 18th. It's him and Magic Johnson. Those are the only people who do things like that in an NBA season. He's averaging 23 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. And we would be talking about this as one of the great seasons of all time, except for the fact that there's Stephen Curry. Like, that's the end of it right there. Is it possible he's having a better all-around season? We like to talk about all-around stuff. We want to give a trophy to somebody else. So, yeah, you can say all-around because he does all the rebounding. He's been that good, and he still hasn't been Steph Curry.
Last night, by the way, triple-double in 17 minutes. It took him all of 17 minutes to do that last night. And you do realize that he's right. Steph Curry has been better. But if Russell Westbrook were doing this right now on the Warriors, we'd be giving him the MVP trophy, and we'd be saying it's the best season any of us have ever seen. He just happens to be doing it for a team that's not winning as much.
Russell Westbrook is having such a great season. He should be the spokesman for Blaze Pizza
Right.
Instead of LeBron. That's the way I'll go with that one.
I think J.R. Smith should be the spokesman for Blaze Pizza.
What should we make of this report of another failed drug test for Josh Gordon?
This bums me out for a number of different reasons, not many of them having to do, by the way, with Josh Gordon. This shouldn't be leaked. We need to be in a time where this kind of information stays private, first of all. Secondarily, unbelievably punitive for what is a jaywalking crime when you consider marijuana and our changing laws in this country. But there are rules in that workplace, and he appears to have violated them. And what it makes me wonder, Bomani, I don't think this is a loser. I don't think this is a dumb guy. I don't think he's a moron. It makes me wonder what else is in play here that is making this happen in the pain game. I'm wondering, how is this possible that this is happening? I've talked to this guy. He's not stupid. I know many of you are looking at it and saying, what a waste of a life, waste of an opportunity. I'm wondering, what is going on here?
Yeah, I'm inclined towards sympathy in these sorts of situations because if you can't stop doing whatever it is to have the opportunity to make millions of dollars, chances are there's something going on here that's not right. At the same time, according to the reports that we had that Fox Sports came out with first with, it's not simply that he seemed to fail the drug test, it's that he seemed to fail the drug test and his sample appeared to be diluted. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous to deal with somebody who seems to be an addict and then get that mad when they have a relapse of any sort, right? Like, it's not a time for finger wagging. It's probably a time for asking questions. But once you try to game the system to try to get over on it, that's when people look at you like, come on, man.
Would you rather buy a ticket to watch Kobe's last game or the Warriors going for 73?
We've got these two things happening on the same night at the same time. Kobe Bryant will be in Los Angeles against the Utah Jazz playing his last game. The Warriors will be at home against the Grizzlies trying to get to 73 wins. If I had to buy a ticket, I'm buying a ticket to go watch Kobe. I mean, the last 20 years of the NBA, that's him right there. Think of all the changes you've had in the league since 1996. Think of the fact that the 96 draft is the greatest of all time, and he's the best player from that draft. Just think about how much NBA history has happened around Kobe Bryant. Him at home for that franchise with that adoring fan base, that's a building I'd want to be in on that night.
Wow, that's interesting because I would go the other way. Most people would go the way he would because the ticket is much more expensive in Los Angeles than it is in Golden State by average. But I'd prefer to see history made by the most fun basketball team I've ever seen in my lifetime. I'd rather see them go after 73 in a building that's already that kind of excitable than see a player at the end of his string be terrible in front of a home crowd that's there just to say thank you. But I understand I'm in the minority on that one.
Oh, no, to be fair, Kobe put up 35 on the Rockets the other night, and if you think he's not going to try to get to 50 field goal attempts, you're crazy. You're telling me you don't want to see Kobe try to put up 50 field goal attempts? Like the Warriors, that might be a big deal winning 73. They got to win the championship. We know the last night of Kobe's a big deal, and he's stretching his forearms out right now, getting ready to put up all those J's.
So you guys really believe that this is going to be Kobe's last game, eh? He's going to be around for a while. Yeah. He's going to shop in another place. I'm telling you, the guy is going to be one of these Houdini acts. You know, now you see me, now you don't.
Okay, he's going to show up playing for the Kings next year in a mustache. It's going to say different last name.
Houdini?
How should Carmelo feel hearing the Knicks might be interested in David Blatt as their next head coach?
Oh my gosh, we have played all that video recently of Carmelo Anthony grabbing rebounds from teammates and screaming, "Get the bleep out of here." My guess is that he's thinking a similar sentiment now as this report comes out from Chris Broussard. David Blatt doesn't run the triangle offense. What sense does this make? In fact, in a fictional scenario, if I were to say to you, if the people were available to you and you could choose anybody on earth for Carmelo Anthony to be coached by, who's funniest? What's the funniest fictional name you could produce? David Blatt is going to be pretty high on that list.
Yeah, the sense it makes is that David Blatt doesn't have a job and he knows somebody who works at the Knicks. Steve Mills, the general manager, he apparently played college basketball with Blatt at Princeton. I guess that's the reason that his name winds up in this. If you're Melo, that's the kind of thing to make you call your financial advisor and ask, do I really need these other several $1 million that are left on my contract? Because what am I doing here? Why am I still coming here every day to go to work when they're doing stuff like this?
Well, they're looking for a winning coach. David Blatt has the credentials.
Yes,
you know,
he
he
is a
won
winner.
in Europe, and then
Yes.
he came here. And,
Yes.
you know, he went to the finals last year, and then this year he had a winning record. I mean, it's not his fault that he got can.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
Wow.
it's not his fault.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that word.
He
Okay.
has been to the NBA Finals, just like Byron Scott.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, we talk to Rob Lowe.
Someone retreats to their apartment where they have a lot of ammunition in case they need it. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, and Jim Brown.
Oh, no. Jim Brown. Jim Brown.
That's all I'm saying.
Brown. And that night you climbed Mount Kokomanjaro, right? Is that right? That night? Yes?
Joining us at the beach today is Rob Lowe.
He's an energetic sort of dude. He's also starring in The Grinder. Catch an all-new episode Tuesday, April 12th at 9:30 Eastern on Fox. Let's talk to Rob.
What would you identify as the hardest thing that you've been through, from your perspective?
Oh, boy. I think, I think for me, sort of learning to navigate, you know, in my 20s, you know, the kind of craziness that success can give you, and along with alcohol and stuff. I'm sober now 25 years. And that was a game changer. So I think getting on that path and being able to stay on it, that was the game changer for me. By the way, I'm the only idiot sober guy with a wine cellar as big and as expensive as mine. You know, I can thank my wife for that.
I was about to say, how does that work? That you're the guy that's stockpiling all the wine?
You know what, man? Listen, if there's overhead, I'm going to figure out a way to have it. That's just the way it is. Like that famous footage of Indiana Jones running behind the boulder, that's me running in front of my nut.
Well, how did you arrive there, though? You said it was a game changer, so how did you realize that the game needed changing?
You know, part of it was I'd met my wife, Cheryl. We've now been together. We'll have our 26th wedding anniversary this year. And I realized if I couldn't make it work with her, I literally couldn't make it work with anybody. So, you know, it's the old story. A good woman can make a man do the right things.
Is it because you hurt her and that hurt you?
I was just being a wild man. I was being a wild man. So, and I didn't want to lose her. So, you know, it was a good thing.
How can you explain to us where it is that you realized that she wasn't going to be broken by the way that you were testing her?
You know, I didn't know that, actually. I didn't. That's one of the great mysteries of relationships and life is sometimes you have to move on a path not knowing what the results are going to be, right? So, but I did know that, you know, getting into recovery was going to take me into a place of adventure. And by the way, can I just say this? Because when I hear people talk about recovery, when I was young, I was like, so boring. You know, I'm never going to have some drinks when I have a baby or when I graduate from college. Come on, man. What am I going to do? Dude, it's really fun to be in recovery, honestly. Like, my biggest fear for anybody out there maybe thinking about it was that if I did it, my fun would be over. And it's only beginning. So, for what it's worth.
You're an adrenaline junkie, yes? Fair to describe you as that?
Totally, yeah. Hella skiing, you know, surf, big surf. That's my thing. You know what it is, by the way? It's the offshoot of being in recovery. I gotta everybody has to let the wild man out. If you don't think you have a wild man in you, you're lying to yourself. And you gotta let him out. The question is, how are you letting him out? So for me, that's one of the ways I do it.
So what's the thing you won't do, though? Where you're like, okay, that's going a little too far to chase the rush.
You know what I won't do for whatever reason? I'm not jumping out of a plane. I'm not doing it. And I get it. My kids have done it. But there's something about that for me, or bungee jumping off the bridge or that kind of stuff. There's something about that I'm not, and I'm not climbing Mount Everest. So don't ask me.
What about Kilimanjaro? You willing to do that one, or is it just Everest that you're not going to rock with?
Kilimanjaro, I know people who've done Kilimanjaro. Apparently, it's a lot easier than people say. I'll do Kilimanjaro. That I'll do. And apparently there's no snow on Kilimanjaro anymore, they tell me. So the snows of Kilimanjaro, myth.
I feel like you've done the equivalent, though, of jumping out of an airplane because you partied with Charlie Sheen in the 80s. Can you give us some details? Come on, give us that. There's got to be a good story there of you and Charlie running roughshod over Hollywood, consuming all of it.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. You guys are smart guys. So we're going to play like a version of Mad Libs with this. I'm going to give you the characters, some of the setting, but you're going to have to fill in the story. Okay? Right. Charlie Sheen, Playboy Mansion, mid-1980s, Ola Ray from the Michael Jackson.
Ray.
Yeah, Bomani's awake now.
Who saw Ola Ray turning up in this?
Look at Bomani's awake.
Yeah, you just dropped Ola Ray in 2016 in the store.
Keep going.
Come on.
Keep going.
Yeah, Ola Ray, come on.
Okay, going. All right. See, I like that. Sometimes I get the blank face when I say Ola Ray. Ola Ray's fiance, someone's missing. A couple has disappeared. Hugh Hefner's grotto. Someone gets busted. Someone retreats to their apartment where they have a lot of ammunition in case they need it. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, and Jim Brown.
Oh, no, Jim Brown. Jim Brown.
That's all I'm saying.
Brown. And that night you climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, right? Is that right? That night?
Yeah.
Yes, that was climbed.
See, here's the good thing about this story is I didn't say nothing about nobody.
Right, you really didn't. Wow, that is great.
Wow, that's the best thing that's ever happened.
Yes, that was pretty good. Now our imaginations can just run wild.
Yes.
I'm just going to stare off into the distance. now,
Ola
thinking
Ray and
about
Jim
that.
Brown kicking it with Charlie Sheen and Rob Lowe.
And that was the, listen, the mansion in the 80s was fun. We saw some sights.
You don't say. All right. See you later, Rob. Good talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
Gracias, Rob. Gracias.
Thanks,
Gracias.
guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Panda. I got broads in Atlanta, twisting dope, lean on the Fanta, credit cards on the scammers, sitting of leaks in the banda, black X6, Pantone, YX6, look like a panda, going out like I'm Montana, 100 killers, 100 hammers. That's from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that gives new meaning to sexy. Do you question?
You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question if this was a shot Josh Smith should have taken?
Of course I do. I mean, I don't even have to see the shot. I mean, it doesn't even have to be in basketball. The answer, of course, is yes. They're fighting for the 8th seed. He's in Houston now. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Here is 34% shooter over the last 22 games, Josh Smith.
Yeah. Oh, Josh. Yeah. Josh thought he was open. Josh always thinks he's open. And
no, he didn't ask for the elbow for the
did
foul.
Did he ask for a foul there?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, Josh.
Look at it. Look
Josh.
at it. Look at it. Look at it. Here we go.
No, he
Here
didn't.
we go. Here we go.
I don't believe you. Oh,
there
gosh.
it is. There it is. He
Josh.
asked for the foul right there. So actually, he should have taken the shot. I did. I mean, way to go, producer.
Are you sure he should have taken that shot?
Oh. Ooh.
Oh, look at this, a montage. This is delightful.
He's the only player I can think of where you heard the home arena audibly gasp when he would take jump shots, because that's what it was when he was in Atlanta.
That is
half those people weren't even there to root for the Hawks, and they were like,
yes, don't do that, Josh.
Do you question who got it worse?
Uh-oh, what do we have here? Animals, toddlers, what do we have? Let's see here. Oh, ouch! I mean, this goes without saying that the guy who hit his head. Oh, ouch! Man, that looks like his head came clean off. Ouch! Oh!
wow.
Oh!
What's the dispute here? How's this even a question? Should it be you question if that kid has CTE?
Oh!
You know who couldn't do that, don't you? Peyton
Oh,
Manning.
for the love of God, leave him alone, Dad. Dad, he's retired, man. Leave him alone.
You're so good at that I'm always afraid that you might be about to,
Oh.
Time to play the game that is now available in Minty Fresh. See? Or no?
Tell us what's on television tonight. He'll always be intrigued.
On Sportsnet New York, Marlins and Mets.
Yeah, this is a good pitching matchup right here. Jose Fernandez and Syndergaard. If you like strikeouts, we like strikeouts. If you like them, this is the game for you. Look at Syndergaard here. Throw 3 sliders to Kendrys Morales. Look at this.
95?
Yeah, sliders. 95, 93, 93. See you later. Fast as possible. My slider is 93 miles an hour. Morales looking back saying they didn't do it that way in Cuba. There weren't any of those in Cuba. But Manny, are you intrigued?
You almost made me intrigued there, though not really. I would like to make this point. Quiet subtext of this baseball season that's been great. Barry Bonds hating on everybody with backhanded compliments. First it was Bryce Harper. Now it's Alex Rodriguez. No, he's not going to break my record because he's claiming that record, folks.
Bobby, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. The Q&As is going to take the mound tonight. Jose Fernandez, even though he lost the opener at home, the first time that he lost in a long time, the first loss at home, I'm telling you, he's going to be ready for that task, He's going to be on and he's going to show the world that he's still what it takes. That's going to be a name that you'll never forget.
Really,
Jose
Dad?
Really,
Really, Dad?
Yeah.
Still what it takes.
That's right.
A name you'll never
I
forget.
haven't heard the name you'll never forget in a while. I actually kind of missed it.
I mean, Dad, he still has what it takes.
Papi has spoken.
All right. Great.
In a gym in Utah, the Matt Van Komen mixtape.
Oh, Bomani, I never know what to do with these. This is high school. It's 7'4", freshman, and you never know before we unleash the video. Is it going to be amazing or is it going to be unbelievably sad? Let's find out together. I don't know the answer to my question. I wouldn't go amazing or unbelievably sad. Somewhere on the spectrum. If amazing's over here and unbelievably sad's over here, I think I'd go like this. Oh, some more. There's more. Okay. Like this. Manny, are you intrigued?
I am a little bit intrigued, but not so much by your man, but by these kids who thought they were going to dunk on him. Like, what are those dudes really? How arrogant do you have to be to think that you're about to dunk on him? Like, you have to be in the NBA to treat him like he's Sean Bradley.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. But do you notice that most of his highlights, they were in the layup line?
Yeah.
Were they? Is that true? Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's layup line. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's.
Oh, this is a hustle.
Yeah, this is a hustle.
We almost fell for
Yeah,
this.
I agree with Bomani. That's not a mixtape. That's a hustle.
He ain't no Ralph Sampson.
That's
He also, he
but
ain't
wow.
getting off the ground either.
Wow, but they splice in the occasional action footage there to disorient us.
Yeah, he's going to get around really good players, and he is going to get victimized.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
My father's in a hurry to get out of here. He wants to go eat some of LeBron's pizza. Thanks for watching.
Gracias. See you mañana.
Are you guys going to help me? Or do I have to eat all of them by myself?
All by yourself.
All by myself? Wow. All right.
Yeah, no problem, right? We'll do that in a second.
It's about to look like a conveyor belt.
I'll be here until tomorrow morning. I still don't like you, LeBron.
Yeah, likes your pizza, though.
The pizza is good, but I don't like you.